Okay, here we go. Oh no. That's gross. Really, Ray? Damn it. Here we go. Now my neck is all red, but you know what? It's better than that ugly ass neck beard. Did I manage to get myself to shave? Sure did. Did I push my hair to the side a little bit? You bet. Could I be bothered to put on pants? No, I could not. But I'm doing the best that I can with the energy that I have. Hey YouTube, I wanted to pop in quick and give you an update on how things have been going for me this week. I do want to give a trigger warning before I start. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to show the incisions. Right now they are still covered up by the steri strips, so what is visible is very limited. Regardless, I will give you a heads up before I remove my shirt so you can skip over that part if you feel the need to. I have to start with two things before I jump into the update. Number one, man, I could almost cry just thinking about all the love you all have sent me the last week. It's been a really great reminder that there are so many people in the world that give a shit about me, and yeah, it makes me feel super loved and I'm feeling very special. Second, I am so outrageously privileged, and not that I wasn't aware of that before, but I wanted to acknowledge that again. Everything about this surgery and my healing process has been such an amazing experience, and I am incredibly privileged to be able to say that. Anyways, surgery went really well. It took about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, with no issues or complications. There were 2 issues that happened before I went into surgery though. Number one, the damn IV, the goddamn IV. I'm pretty sure that I jinxed myself by mentioning that in my last video. I have never in my life had to be stuck more than once. I have great veins. Unfortunately, I was dehydrated, so my veins were asleep, and they did have to stick me twice to get a good IV in. But you know what? That's okay. I survived, and I'm a better person because of it. Ugh, I just hate IVs so much. The other issue was my nipple ring. I've had it for about 4 years, and I have never taken it out before, and the nurses were very adamant about it needing to come out for surgery. 5 different sets of hands were on my chest trying to get it out of my nipple. Eventually, one of the nurses said after they put me under, they'd try one more thing to get it out. If they weren't able to get it undone, then they would have to clip it out, which I really didn't want them to do because I'm concerned that the hole would close up, and I really like my nipple ring, and I didn't want to have to lose it like that. I am not exaggerating when I say I woke up when they were rolling me out of the OR, and the very first thing I did was lift that blanket and look for my nipple ring, which was still there. And the nurse who promised that she'd try it again when I went into the OR, she saw me and she laughed, and she told me that they were able to unscrew it and get it out, and she put it back in before I woke up. And I was very, very happy about that. So huge shout out to her. She's a friggin' angel. After I woke up, I was not allowed to leave until I was able to void my bladder, and they had a Foley catheter in while I was in surgery. So that means when I woke up, my bladder was completely empty. I was really ready to go home, so I chugged a coffee, 3 of those little water bottles, I had a ginger ale, and then a whole IV fluid bag, and I was able to urinate pretty quickly. It did hurt a little bit to urinate, but that's pretty typical if you have a catheter. It just is going to be uncomfortable the first time that you pee. I only knew this because somebody else mentioned it to me. Thank you, Caleb. The first time you pee after you have a hysterectomy, it's going to be a fun color. My pee was bright neon orange. It's very strange. They use the dye so that they can see what's going on in your bladder and stuff, and then it also kind of works as a numbing agent. Very strange. But if I wouldn't have known that beforehand, I would have been freaking out. I did bleed a tiny bit the first day, and to say bleed and the first day both feel like an exaggeration. It was very spotty for the first maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I have not had any sort of bleeding or spotting since then. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were pretty much all the same. I had some cramping. It kind of felt like intense period cramps. And also I was very bloated. They pump you full of CO2 gas so that they can move around in your abdomen. I was on narcotics for the first 3 days, so the pain was minimal. I was mostly uncomfortable. I also was having some really bad deferred shoulder pain through those days as well. Sunday was by far the worst day so far. It was the first day without narcotics. It wasn't unbearable, but it was the most pain and discomfort that I had felt up to that point. The first 2 nights I slept in a recliner because the deferred shoulder pain was so bad when I laid flat that my whole body was just shaking. But the bloating went down enough by the 3rd night that I could sleep flat and through the shoulder pain, which was really nice. Luckily, I have not had much of an issue with constipation. I was prescribed Miralax and I've been staying very consistent with that. And I am off of narcotic pain medication, but I am still regularly taking ibuprofen and Tylenol. As far as menopause symptoms go, I've definitely been struggling with hot flashes, which suck. I run hot as it is, so that's been fairly miserable. Low sex drive has not been a thing. I probably shouldn't know this, but orgasms have not been a problem, and they don't feel any different than before surgery. Nothing is to be inserted vaginally for 6 to 8 weeks, which is not a problem for me. The only reason I don't think I'm supposed to be getting off just yet is because I'm not supposed to be tightening my abdomen, but I promise you I have been very careful in my research process. I haven't noticed any mood swings, and my energy level honestly feels the same as before surgery. I got a phone call yesterday from the surgeon saying that my pathology came back negative, so that's good. My incisions started itching yesterday, which is a good sign. That means they're healing. What else? Can't really think of anything. So I'm going to show you my abdomen now. If you do not want to see my incisions covered by the steri strips, you should skip over this part. All right. This is not from surgery. This is an ingrown hair that I basically had to chop out. This is cute. I had to shave my tummy, which makes me sad. It'll grow back though. Okay, so this is what we're working with at day 5. So I have 4 total incisions. One is internal at the top of the hoo-ha hole. And then yeah, 2 on the side, 1 right above the belly button. I am still fairly bloated, as I'm sure you can see, but we're getting there, getting closer to normal. The steri strips should fall off on their own sometime next week, and when they do, I will post a picture on my social medias to show you how they're looking. But yeah, this is what it's looking like, my happy little abdomen. I will be heading back to work on Thursday. I do think that I'm ready. I'll of course take it easy, you know, like not lift or chase teenagers around while I'm at work. These past few days off have really felt like perfect timing. I've had a lot of opportunities of uninterrupted time to process my feelings, and it's felt very productive in a variety of ways. But I really am done sitting around, and I am looking forward to easing back into my regular routine. As always, thank you so much for watching and for sharing your time with me. If you think of any questions, let me know. I have 2 post-op appointments coming up. One is next week, and the other is, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks after that. So my plan is to do another update after the 2nd post-op appointment, unless something comes up before then. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you soon, and take care.